Hi, Bert.
We're doing personalised shout-outs, are we?
Yeah, personalised shout-outs today.
So this video that we're doing an introduction to is about our time at Cape Leveque.
Yes, which was interesting in getting there. It was 90 kilometres of dirt road, gravel on. Yeah, it was a gravel road, but it was also corrugated road.
It was actually the road beside the road that they're making. So it was a little bit of a goat track, which you'll see. We've got some footage of it in the video. It wasn't a really well-formed road.
No, it wasn't. And unfortunately, we got, when we turned onto it, we knew it was dirt, and we thought we'd let the tyres down just on the edge of it. But we got in a traffic stream, unfortunately, so we had cars in front of us and cars behind us, and once we turned onto it, we couldn't really stop through the dust. You couldn't see the next car in front of you, so we had to keep going. So we did the 90 kilometres on full pressure tyres.
Without being able to get to a speed that our car was comfortable at.
Yeah, and probably 60 kilometres an hour was the top speed, and we felt every corrugation.
The poor old Prado got a flogging, but it held up really well, which was good.
I was going to say the ones we missed we were going to get on the way back, but I don't think we missed any, did we?
I think we got them all. So it was quite a long, interesting trip in, very, very dusty. There was some carnage on the road, some caravan and a car fell victim to the corrugations, and we do have some footage of that for you to have a look at. But we got through unscathed, apart from a very dirty car, and we were a little bit banged around. Everything shook around in the car, so everything settled a little bit, but everything was in one piece, which was great. So our first stop when we turned onto the Cape Leveque Road was a place called Beagle Bay, which is an Aboriginal community. This will be a little bit controversial for a lot of people, but it's just our thoughts and certainly not reflective of everybody's thoughts. But Beagle Bay was one of the few Aboriginal communities that you didn't require a permit to visit. For us, we found it a little bit confusing, I suppose, and it's fine that everybody is able to charge permits to access their land, but we found it really difficult that every beach that we wanted to visit on Cape Leveque, apart from the road that went up to Willie Creek and Quandon Point, up the main part, the top end of Cape Leveque, you were required to pay a permit to visit the beaches. So what we pictured in our mind driving up to Cape Leveque was driving along the road, seeing the coast, seeing the beautiful blue water. You don't see that because you basically drive up the middle and there's trees either side, and then you have to turn off that road to access the beaches. And once you get to the Aboriginal communities that are located by the beach, they do ask you to pay a fee to access the beach. So it's not that we mind paying the fee, it was just that everywhere we wanted to go, we had to pay money. And it's not a national park, so I understand that they can't put a fee at the gate. But, you know, when you're being asked to pay $10 a person here and $17 a person there and another $10 a person here, not large amounts of money, but then on top of that, there's no free camping. The paid camping, we paid $40 a night for a bush camp. When you stay at Signet Bay, I imagine that it would be quite a bit dearer than that. So your accommodation is a little bit more expensive, but obviously due to the location, but also there's the fees that are required as well. So for us, that was probably a bit of a disappointment. The scenery and everything else was absolutely amazing, but we didn't actually go and see every single beach because of the fees that were involved to visit them, and we chose to do the tour at the Signet Bay Pearl Farm. We paid the fee to go into Coolgerman, which was absolutely amazing. We got to drive on the beach there, but we have seen photos of Lombardina and a few other places that we didn't visit that look absolutely spectacular. So for anyone who's watching that's planning a trip to the Cape, just be aware it wasn't something that we were aware of. We weren't aware that there was a permit system in place for each of the beaches. So had we known that and had we factored that in, it would have been a completely different situation, but that was a surprise to us.
We went to the Signet Bay Pearl Farm and did a tour there. Really, really interesting. It was an hour's tour, and yeah, they showed us how the pearls actually start to when they harvest them, and we were lucky. She got two what are they?
Pearls.
Yeah, 2 pearls out of the clams she pulled out, and it's just a fluke, I suppose. Like, the lady who opened the clams for us had no idea whether there's a pearl in there, so she's explaining that it's a lot of work. For 2 years they have to nurture and harvest these clams, and then once again, as I said, it's a luck of the draw. They could open it and have no pearl, they could open it and have a beautiful, real expensive pearl, and we were lucky. We got one pearl they valued at $1,000, and the other one was valued at $74, I think, somewhere around there. So,
and these are cultured pearls, so they also do harvest natural pearls, but pretty much it's a cultured pearl industry, because that guarantees on most times that they'll get some sort of a pearl. Yeah. So we learned all about how the cultured pearls are
made,
grown,
yeah,
because it's a living animal.
Yeah.
How the cultured pearls are grown, and the difference between a cultured pearl and a natural pearl. And yeah, Cygnet Bay was a really, really pretty place. Beautiful pool beside the restaurant. We didn't get to see the campground. We did actually inquire about staying there, but it was fully booked. It's a really popular place, so we didn't get to actually see the campground there. But we've heard that that's pretty much like a bush camp as well, but it's near the beach, not on the beach. So So when we'd finished our time up at the top there, we came back down the road. This time we were more prepared. We stopped well before the dirt started, dropped our tyres, didn't have as much traffic on the road, and we had a much smoother ride back.
We were able to sit on 80k, somewhere around there, and
made a massive difference.
It was just like a bitumen road with a bit of dust on it on the way home.
Yeah, it was much better. So we called in at Willie Creek to stay the night there before we returned to our caravan. And there is also another pearl farm there. It was closed by the time we got there, but it was a great free camp there beside Willie Creek. And then the next day we got up and we drove up to Quandong Point and had a bit of a look around there, and I couldn't believe the amount of campers up there.
Yeah, that's huge. Right along the coast, you can just pull in anywhere, and caravans and camper trailers, rooftop tents, you name it, they're all there. So
it's all free camping on that part of the Cape. But as we mentioned earlier, once you go up the middle and you go to the top, there's no free camping up there. So, as we said, anyone planning a trip, just so that you're aware of it. But there's some beautiful free camps on the Cape down the bottom end, closer to Broome. So that probably wraps it up. We will finish that video there, and we will catch you in the next one.
See ya.
We'll be right back.